Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Luka Doncic is now officially a Los Angeles Laker. Anthony Davis is now a Dallas Maverick. So a lot has happened last night, in the last 24 to 48 hours. But in the midst of that, we've also been kind of reacting to how all of this affects LeBron James. I've been amongst the people that feel like LeBron didn't know what was going on. He was absolutely blindsided by this trade. And I still believe that. I don't think that LeBron had an idea of what is going on, contrary to other people creating content saying that I said that. I never said that. But so you have that aspect of it. But now that his teammate of 6.5 years got traded away, the question now comes, well, what happens with LeBron James? What do the Lakers do with LeBron? What does LeBron do with? I think LeBron has a no trade clause in his deal. I think it's him and Bradley Beal that have that trade. And some people feel like that means he can't be traded. No, LeBron can be traded. He has the ability to veto the trade. That's what it means. Some people feel like he cannot be traded. No, LeBron can be traded if he accepts the trade. He has the power to veto that trade. That's the difference there. But anyway, some people that I've been asking, what's going to happen with LeBron? What's going to happen with LeBron? So yesterday, as I was kind of just closing shop, I came across an interesting series of articles that suggest that there may be a secret move, a secret trade that's being worked on right now that could absolutely shake the NBA and could be actually bigger. Okay, so let's get into these articles here. There are two of them, all right? One of them is from marca.com. It says, after Doncic goes to the Lakers, LeBron now heads to the Warriors with Curry. Continues on. The NBA is never short of drama, but even by its own high standards, the Luka Doncic trade to the Lakers was a stunner. No one expected it, not the fans, not the analysts, and apparently not even LeBron James. The deal which sent Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas in exchange for Doncic blindsided the league and immediately ignited questions about what it meant for the Lakers' future. The biggest question, what happens next with LeBron? Chris Haynes quickly put out the first fire, reporting that LeBron intends to remain with the Lakers past February 6th trade deadline. According to league sources, James had no plans to force his way out, and the Lakers front office was appreciative of how he and Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul handled the situation, but that didn't stop speculations from running wild. It then continues on. The Warriors, after all, have been looking for a way to extend their championship window. They've been linked to all kinds of trade rumors from Joel Embiid to Kevin Durant, but nothing quite as dramatic as LeBron Curry union. Golden State has the assets to make a move. Young players, contracts that can be moved, and an owner who isn't shy about making a splash. But would they actually pull the trigger? Lakers reloading, Mavericks adjusting, and LeBron watching. From the Lakers side, Rob Pelinka made it clear that they aren't done dealing. There's still some time before the trade deadline, and more moves could be on the way. If LeBron isn't leaving, that likely means reinforcements are coming. The front office is fully aware that LeBron duo, while exciting, needs additional depth to make a real run at a championship. So that's what that article had to say. There's another one from Fadeaway World that says Warriors could land LeBron James in a huge blockbuster trade after Anthony Davis left Lakers. It continues on. Meanwhile, across the state, the Golden State Warriors are navigating their own crossroads, desperately trying to build one last championship contender around Stephen Curry after dealing with inconsistent play from their roster. With James and Curry setting the international world on fire with Team USA in the 2024 Olympics, could that chemistry carry over in an NBA in a jaw-dropping blockbuster trade? For the Mavericks, their decision to move Luka was fueled by mounting concerns over his conditioning. Reports indicated Doncic had ballooned to 270 pounds, raising red flags about his long-term fitness. Dallas ultimately prioritized defense and stability over the uncertainty surrounding their young superstar, who was reportedly stunned by the deal. Now, the Lakers find themselves in a similarly precarious situation. LeBron, fresh off losing his longtime running mate, could very well be the next in line for a franchise-altering move. Golden State has been eye-shaking up after a lackluster season, and what better way to reignite their dynasty by pairing two of the greatest players in NBA history. Stephen Curry has placed the Warriors on blast earlier this season that he won't accept an average team, and this is the chance for a massive change. If LeBron wants wants a chance at a ring. Linking up with Curry might be his best shot. The Lakers aren't yet committing to a full rebuild, but James's future in Los Angeles could be suddenly up in the air. Would the Warriors pull the trigger on a trade that could define the twilight of Curry's legendary career? Let's go through it. And it goes proposed details. Golden State Warriors receive LeBron James. Los Angeles Lakers receive Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton II, Kyle Anderson, and 2026 first round pick. And then the article goes on there. So there seems to be some speculation about this. All right, that this could potentially be something that could happen. Here's what I think. I could be wrong, right? And I'm not a general manager, but something is telling me that something else is going to happen. And I won't be surprised if LeBron leaves LA. I won't be surprised. And there are some teams he could go to. The Warriors is one of them. He could also go to Cleveland. There are also articles out there circulating about him possibly going to Cleveland. That would also be a massive move. And if he ended his career with Cleveland, that would be huge, right? Huge for him. It would just be like a full circle moment. Go back where you started, you go back there and you finish off your career. That would be incredible. That would be a great storyline for his career. But I don't think it's over yet. I could be wrong. LeBron could still decide that he wants to be in LA. But it wouldn't shock me if we see LeBron James get moved. If they present the right package to him and these guys in the Lakers front office say, hey, look, LeBron, we're looking to build into the future now. So we're willing to give you a shot of a pick of a team that you want to go to, and we can talk to them and see if this thing will work out. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if we still have some days before the trade deadline. So let's just keep our eyes peeled and our ears open because something could happen. So everybody's reacting to this Luka Doncic story here. We certainly did yesterday, and I'm amongst the people that's of the mindset that I think the Lakers won this trade. I think the Lakers won this trade because they got the youngest star that they can build around going into the future. Okay. The Mavs may be better now, maybe in the immediate, like right now, in the moment, but I believe that the Lakers are going to be better moving forward. You got a guy in Luka Doncic who's 7 years younger than Anthony Davis, who's better than Anthony Davis, and you got a guy in Luka Doncic that's 15 years younger than LeBron James, and you have a star that you can build around going into the future. But what's been one of the knocks on Luka Doncic? One of the knocks on Luka has been his conditioning, right? A lot of people feel like, and these are professionals that know more about this than me, feel like Luka could be an even better player if he took his nutrition seriously, if he took, training his body seriously and got into tip-top shape. That's been one of the knocks on him. And one of the people that seems to be an expert on fitness, and he is Shannon Sharpe. Okay, there's no question about it. Shannon is in his 50s and he's in impeccable shape. We can say whatever we want to say about Shannon. When it comes to being fit and in shape and taking his nutrition and stuff like that serious, he doesn't joke. I actually remember watching an interview Shannon Sharpe did with Men's Health a number of years ago, where he talked about just how regimented he was during his playing days. And also after his playing days. Shannon Sharpe eats the same thing every day. When I used to follow him on Instagram when he was working on Undisputed, he would post his breakfast. This dude eats the same thing every day. It was like oatmeal, Quaker Oats or whatever, some fruits, and then I don't know what he eats for lunch, but according to what he said, he just eats the same stuff every single day, right? So kudos for him. That really exhibits a tremendous amount of discipline. So shout out to Shannon Sharpe, a good example for people getting up in there in their 40s and 50s to get in shape. So shout out to him for that. But this morning, I came across a clip from Nightcap. And on this particular episode, they were reacting to this bombshell news of Luka Doncic being traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. And on the panel was him, Chad Johnson, and of course, Jamal Crawford was on there. So they were talking about it. And Jamal Crawford essentially asked Shannon Sharpe to kind of weigh in on this trade and what he feels about it. And when I tell you Shannon Sharpe went off, and he didn't hold back, he absolutely obliterated Luka Doncic. So these are the comments that we want to get into right now. Take a listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say here.
But here's the thing. This is what we know. Young athletes that hurt become old athletes to get hurt. And the worst thing you can have is an old guy you owe him $200 million, you owe $300 million. Because I just read a thing the other day where it said Joel Embiid has made $125 million for the games that he's missed. You want that on Luka? You want Luka's salary? $345 million? And here he is. And they believe that those injuries, a lot of those have been exacerbated by his condition. And you remember he was nursing a knee injury last year in the championship game. in the NBA Finals. And leading up to the finals, we like, well, how long can he go on that look? So now you hear culture. You see a guy that has no interest in playing any level of defense, not at all.
Listen, some got to give way. Everybody's going to have flaws. When you think about NBA players, hell, even NFL players, everybody has their strengths. His strengths and his identity is on the offensive side of the ball. So what you don't get from the defensive side of the end, but he's so great at what he does offensively. Hell, you got to take that.
So, how do you like this for Lakers? You watch Lakers close as anybody. How do you like the fit? How do you like
I just don't. Here's the thing. LeBron is at the age he can't play consistent defense. Luka doesn't play any defense. You traded your two best defenders, your wing defenders, Max Christie on ball, and AD, your help defender on ball, can defend 1 through 5. He's tremendous in the pick and roll. He's great at weak side help. Look, you got guys that can score, but who can they stop? I understand. This is what the Lakers, and I've studied the Lakers, and I know the Lakers. This is what the Lakers do. They got Wilt because they love superstars. In LA, you got to have them.
Yeah.
You cannot cannot survive as the Lakers without superstars. So they go get Wilt, and then they follow that up with Kareem, and they go get Shaq, and they go get LeBron, and now they go get Luka. You got to have that if you're going to be LA. If you're going to be the Lakers, you look at the Dodgers. That's what they do. You see Shohei. You see Mookie. That's what they do in order for you to survive out here. That's why they went and traded for Matthew Stafford, Ocho. You got to have a star. You got to have stars. Aaron Donald. You got to have stars to survive out here if you want to win, because there's too much going on in LA. We got beaches. We got Samo. We got rooftops. You got so much going on. And if you don't win, they're not coming to see you. But I'm telling you, I don't care. See, that's the notion that people make, Jamal, and you know this. A lot of times people say, well, as long as I'm doing my job, you shouldn't care about. No. It doesn't work like that. Because, see, your job is being a professional. That's your job. How you conduct yourself while you're doing your job, that's called being a pro. And say, we don't like the pro. We love the professional because he's giving us 29, 32, 34, 9 and 9. We know what he can do. But that pro eventually will catch up with us. His behavior and the way he does things, they say, nah, we got to nip this in the bud. We got to break his plate at 25 because he's going to become, bro, we let him get 2 years into $60 and $70 million contract. Hey, that joker might come in, he might come into the game drinking a beer. He might come to and smoking on hookah. Because we know Luka love his hookah now, Jamal. He love his hookah.
So you heard what Shannon Sharpe had to say there. Look, I think the reason Shannon Sharpe is going as hard is for a number of reasons. Number one, he spoke about the fact that Luka Doncic cost himself over $100 million, that the Mavericks were not willing to commit to this guy because they feel like if they commit to this guy and they're up and they're get to the point of contract where they're paying him $70, $80 million a year, this guy could just essentially mail it in with his fitness, and then that'll be the end of that, and it's guaranteed money, so you got to pay him that. That's the first part. The second part that I really believe got on Shannon's nerves was the part about the fitness, right? It seemed like it's something that really pisses him off, because Shannon is like, you're wasting the opportunity. And you should be more disciplined about this. Shannon Sharpe is big on discipline, and you can see by the way he looked. Fitness is a very important thing to him. My closest friend Marco, who we used to go to college together in Italy and all of that. Marco's really into fitness. And when I was in college, I was much more fit than I am now. Longer story why I got out of shape, but we got to bet because I'm going to be in New York in a few months. So he told me, all right, we're going to bet something for you to be in shape. So that's something else. But the point I'm making is Marco was really dedicated to fitness. And while I was on my fitness journey, and I was doing well for myself, to be quite honest with you, we're not going to post any before pictures here. Marco will be somebody that will really motivate me. And if he sees you eating some nonsense, he'll be the first one to let you know. Right, he'll be the first one to let you know. And if you get a great workout, like you get a good workout and you come from the gym, instead of eating like a banana or something on your way home or something, if you go eat like, I don't know, a slice of pizza or whatever it is, and then later on I'm like, man, my stomach hurt. He'd be the first one to turn around and look at you and be like, yeah, it's what you ate. Yeah, it's because of that stuff that you ate. Yeah, he just that type of person. So people like that, it bothers them when they see you out of shape and not really maximizing your abilities. In the case of Shannon Sharpe, I believe it's to the next level, Because in this case, this is what you do for a living. Me being fit wasn't what I do for a living. This is what he does, Luka Doncic. You're getting paid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to be in tip-top shape, and you not taking it seriously or not being disciplined enough, you can see that it really irks Shannon. He also spoke about the aspect of Luka not being a great defender. He doesn't feel like he feels like the Lakers took a step back defensively. They gave away some of their better perimeter defenders. So he doesn't seem to be 100% bought on this trade in terms of it being something that can move the needle right now. Now, the Lakers could have other moves in the work, but the only other big move they can do is involving LeBron James himself. But, hey, Shannon decided to take it in a different direction with his opinions. And, hey, look, he's entitled to his views. So what I want to know from you guys is simply this. What do you feel about what Shannon Sharpe is saying? Do you think that he is being a little bit too critical of Luka? Or do you think that, look, he's 100% on the money? And now that now that Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker, he really needs to take this thing very, very seriously, because the Lakers are not going to tolerate this type of nonsense. And the Lakers fans don't want to hear about you not performing well because of your weight issues. Maybe that's just not something Laker fans are willing to accept. So yesterday, one of the biggest trades that caught everyone off guard went down. Day for yesterday, actually, now. With Luka Doncic being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. And as a matter of fact, the full trade included, I'm going to read from Sham's post on his Twitter account. It says, breaking, the Dallas Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. Sources tell ESPN, 3-team deal that includes Utah. I want you guys to think about this. This tweet, okay, had 18,000 comments, 100,000 retweets, 267,000 likes, and it was viewed 90 million times. Just absolutely crazy stuff, right? Or 90 million impressions, however you want to call it. Crazy stuff. And everyone has reacted to this news yesterday. They even had to bring Stephen A. Smith back on. I think he was off for the weekend or something like that. They brought him on SportsCenter. So many people waited, but one of the people that kind of surprised me when I heard from him was Charles Barkley, right? The most outspoken man in sports media. So they brought Charles Barkley. Actually, I saw the clip. I think it was on NBA TV that they brought him in, but it was a clip that was posted by, I believe, Bleacher Report. So they bring Charles on to ask him what he thought about the trade, right? This bombshell trade. And as Charles is giving his thoughts, he's talking about what the trade is, what he feels, how he feels it transpired and all that. He then gets to a point and he starts to say something that I was saying yesterday, which was this could signal the end of the LeBron James era in Los Angeles. And this is something that I alluded to yesterday. So what we want to do is want to play what Charles had to say here about his thoughts on this, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Charles Barkley here.
So this is going to be a great trade to see what happens the next X amount of years. I think the Mavericks are a win because, listen, I don't know who the second best team in the West is. The Oklahoma City Thunder are terrific, but I actually think, in my opinion, the Mavs are in that conversation as the second best team there right now. And the Lakers got what they wanted. They got a superstar going forward. I do think this kind of sets the end to like the LeBron James making all the decisions. They're like, hey, we love you, LeBron, but we're going to start what's doing best for the Lakers. That's what I got out of this trade from a Lakers standpoint. Because I don't know if they didn't come tell LeBron, because number one, Clutch Sports is Anthony's agent. But it seems like to me, they're like, hey, you know what? LeBron's on his last legs. Let's start getting us a star for the future. And it's going to be fun to talk about this trade, sit back and watch who wins the trade. I think both teams have to win a championship to say they won the trade. Both teams have to win. The only way you can win this trade if you win the championship. Like I saw Nico say, they probably got a 3 to 5 year window because Kyrie's great, Anthony's great, and they got a really good team down there.
The only downside with Luka being 25, they probably got a 10-year window. But whoever wins the championship is going to be the winner of this trade, plain and simple.
Chuck, you hit it on the head, and that's what you're saying is kind of where I am. Like, I think it's a really good trade for both teams for different reasons. Because I think in Dallas's case, Dallas is win now mode. And you heard Nico talk about he fits their timeline. Him and Kyrie are in essence the same age. They got a really good roster. And the one issue Anthony Davis has always had is, I want to play my natural position, the 4. Well, they got a two-headed monster at the center position with Lively and Gafford. I feel like, to your point, I feel like they are, if they stay healthy, that they are built to be that team in the Western Conference. OKC has been amazing, but they match up. They're going to be hard for people to score on because they don't just have great bigs. They got great bigs that can play at all 3 levels. When you talk about a young, lively Anthony Davis, as great as he is defensively, he's also really good offensively. He's a guy that can get you 30 a night in a matchup nightmare. And for the Lakers with Luka, they've now got a new face of the franchise. That guy is box office. And I think I guarantee you, and Chuck, you can speak to this, it probably humbled him a little bit to be traded like that because he thought he had the keys to that franchise, which he did. But there were definitely rumblings that they weren't thrilled with his approach to the professionalism of taking care of his body and investing in himself in a way where they felt comfortable. Because you know this, Chuck, they didn't have a problem paying him the money. If Luka hadn't shown them that maybe he wasn't as committed to his body, I don't think we'd ever be in this situation.
So you heard what Charles Barkley had to say. This is something I alluded to yesterday. Okay, this is something I alluded to, and I'm in a group of people that feel like LeBron didn't know that this trade was going down. I don't feel so. Number 2, the reason why I felt like LeBron had nothing to do with this trade was, why would LeBron facilitate a trade that could possibly get him pushed out of LA? LeBron essentially would have been a part of a trade that got the Lakers a player that plays virtually the same position that he plays and plays with a similar playing style. Why would LeBron do that? Right? So I don't think LeBron knew anything about that trade. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again today. I don't think he did. Regarding LeBron's time in LA, look, LeBron has been with the Lakers going on 7 years. They won a championship. They had some decent seasons. They had some poor seasons. But I think his time is up there. LeBron is, 40 years old now. He had his moment with Bronny James. And I think that, look, it's time possibly for LeBron James to move on, maybe to retire or go play with another team, right? Because I think the Lakers are trying to usher in a new era with Luka Doncic, and I'm not sure if LeBron is going to be a part of that. I don't think that the Lakers have LeBron in their future plans. Well, for the main reason being that he's 40 years old, right? He's 40 years old. So at a certain point, the Lakers would have to find a way to move on from it. Now, some people may be of the mindset that they think that the Lakers are going to win a championship this year and all of that. I'm not sure about that. The Lakers got worse defensively. They traded for a star who plays no defense, but he brings you a lot of things on offense with his playmaking and all of that. So I don't see this maybe being something that pushes them to the top of the conference. I could be wrong. I think Dallas is going to be better now, as I said yesterday, but I think ultimately the person who won this trade was the Lakers going into the future. You have to remember, Luka Doncic is 25 years old. He is 15 years younger than LeBron James. 15 years. Anthony Davis was 32, right? 32. So I think the Lakers won this trade going into the future, and therefore they won the trade because they're going to have many more cracks at potentially competing for an NBA championship instead of just being relegated to trying to compete for a championship this season. So I think that they won. In terms of LeBron's time in LA, I think LeBron has stayed. I mean, he did what he had to do. Right? He did what he had to do. Now it just seems like LeBron is just passing time, and maybe LeBron will, take this as an opportunity to go play with another contender. There's a story that I'm going to get to a little bit later, something that they may be working on for this trade deadline, which seems to be one of the craziest ones we've had in a long time, that we're probably going to get to a little bit later here today. But I think that, look, Charles Barkley may be onto something. So